Okay, good morning and welcome to Ag Talking to Raw. It is Tuesday. It's Tuesday the February 20th. So I figured I'd get one more of these things in before, I take that plunge onto the airplane. And, we'll talk about some farming stuff this time. No more, I guess it's not going to be anything to do with shootings and things like that because we're not going to be shooting anybody. Let's see. What can we talk about? Video games at the blame at the moment. Yeah, well, I got to get off of this one. We need to go back a couple. And, I'm going to actually go back to the 13th, and I'll answer questions from there. Just for the simple reason that I didn't answer any of those questions. So we can shut that off, and then I can just pull this up, and I can start reading. Okay. Wes, can you start putting the date back on the titles? Yeah, I can do that. I usually do. I actually went back and redid that. So that was all, good to go. Full media scan. I'm doing a media scan because it was, my hard drive was completely full, and honestly, I erased everything. It's supposed to be on that Western Digital drive over there, and I just haven't figured out how the hell to get it onto where I need it to go. So, yeah, whatever. Okay. Do you raise your own meat, or do you buy local? I know you don't show everything on the farm on your videos. Great, your channel. Okay, so a few years ago, and it's all in the freezer. I've been picking away at it. But yeah, for the most part, anything that's beef, we eat it. Pork, I bought locally here, friends of mine. If you go back in my videos in the One Lonely Farmer channel, you can see that there were two girls. One was putting a blade of grass through her nose. Those are the Dixon girls. And they raised some pork and poultry. And I bought it from there. They were pretty damned expensive, but you know what? All in all, it supports the local girls. And, they're doing it on their own. They're not married. They're pretty girls. Not married, just doing the farming thing, enjoying life on the farm. So yeah, when I do buy it, I buy it from there. Teresa will buy Costco pork and chicken, but and that's quality, but it's just for the most part, I would rather raise it. So yeah, I'm going to be buying some animals here when I get back. I have to. It's just we're down to the basic beef protocol there, and it's time to get some more in there. Okay, weed is the new way the government will control a great deal of people in the commie agenda, same way welfare queens leading sheep to the killing shop. Yes, that is exactly what that is. Wes, I can't wait till you get back to counting and baling. Cutting, not counting, cutting and baling. I love farming. Well, I usually take a break in the winter, which I'm about to do now. And it just, when I do get back, it takes me about a week and a half to get back into the swing of things. And then, boom, I'm ready to go. And I'm hoping that's the way it's going to be this year, too. I'll be back earlier than I have in past years, but it'll be pretty good because I got to finish the 4960 and I got to finish that 4010. And that will get paint as soon as the sun shines. And we'll be all good to go. I think I'm going to get Timothy to pull that tractor out of there and while I'm away and pressure wash it, the 4010 that is, if he can. Would you be willing to grow 5 acres or so of sunflowers to make a video series on it from start to finish? No. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be, unfortunately for you, I'm not going to be growing sunflowers that I think of. I might. I don't know. I got to grow something that's interesting. I love sunflowers. The problem is the deer do too. And they love sunflowers worse than any other crop I've grown in the past. So what are your thoughts on Black Sea wheat? Is it going to hurt American farmers along with other wheat farmers in Canada and Australia? I have no idea. I don't know anything about Black Sea wheat. I've been out of the wheat growing business now for several years, and so not that I liked it though. I did like growing wheat. 100 bushel wheat is awesome, and especially with a TR combine, they just eat it. What do you think about Fendt new ultra high density large square baler, the Quatra 1290 UD? Looks like it might be able to keep up with the Krone. It is if that's a clock. Oh, that's Fent's new ultra high density large square baler. I haven't looked. I'm gonna have to go look at that. Didn't know that Fent. Oh, Fent is Agco, so that's just the Heston. It's a Heston Massey Ferguson baler. So yeah, probably the same thing. Looks like it might be keep up with the Krone. It looks like it might, but it won't. Krone is miles ahead, miles and miles ahead. Now, if they got a handle on the cost of parts and stuff, then maybe it would be different. Something to look at. But holy hell, service with a smile. You forgot the smile. Teresa just brought me a bagel. Wasn't she so sweet? All right, one of Muhammad Ali's nearest and dearest and most trusted friends right to the end was Billy Crystal. Billy is a Jew and was always welcome at Muhammad's house, as he was at Billy's. Well, the difference between Muhammad Ali and these Muslims that are over in where Islam is, so prominent, is that Muhammad Ali was not born a Muslim. He converted to Islam, and when most converts convert to Islam, they're not true Islamic or Muslims, so they only follow the teachings that they agree with, and beheading people and not being friends with people because they are Jews, or Jews not liking Muslims because they're Muslims, and Christians not liking any of them because we're Christians, is just, it's ridiculous. I like everybody. If you're a Muslim, I have a little reserve for you because of what you have done. That particular group of people. There's not ethnicity, but it is it's a faith, or a religion. What they have done in the United States and around the world. There's some really wacko people. But like I said, if there's a Muslim out there, I would love to meet male. The females, I don't really, I don't see any. I've met several. They're fine. Maybe they are more lethal than the men. I don't know. But, I'd love to meet them. I have had no one take me up on that. So that kind of puts it into perspective as to, if it would ever happen. Because I'm sure there's some Muslim men out here that would love to, that are watching, that are just not into coming to meet me. Which is fine. I'd love to meet them. Change my mind, please. Texas, Illinois, and New Jersey, it's illegal to roll coal. Fines up to $5,000. Well, unless you got farmer plates on. In New Jersey, you can roll as much black smoke out of your pickup truck as you want. Whereas in Ohio, we have fertilizer certification, and to buy and spread fertilizer on my own ground. It started with algae blooms in the Great Lakes. Does Jersey make you do that also? Enjoy Ag Talk and OLF. Yeah, well, we don't have to have any certifications, but for lawn and garden, yes, you do have. There's a limited amount of fertilizer that you can purchase for your, you have an acreage. Say, hey, I'm going to put it on 2 acres. That's all you're allowed to purchase is enough to moderately fertilize your acreage. So they just lie about it anyway, because that's the way people are. I'm thinking of doing organic hay next year, and I still need a small square baler. Any tips? Go watch The Incredibles, the Disney movie, The Incredibles, and then come back and tell me what you think. I compare organic to the movie The Incredibles, and you'll understand why when you watch that movie. Your views on herbs. LOL. Not everyone smokes to get stoned. Herbs. On herbs. I mean, you must know some. I can't. You know what? The funny thing about this Webstack 2017 Webster, if you're not high while writing this, I can't understand what the hell you're saying. I just can't. I'm sorry. Not everyone is stoned. Webster, your incoherent comment is proof enough to stop the use of drugs. I don't see how any of that made any sense in your head. I agree with that. Ghost of Lucas Clay. That was a pretty funny response there. I had to laugh about that. I have a couple of Muslim friends and Jewish friends and even Christian friends. However, most of my friends do not believe in God, and guess what? They are all decent people. But then again, here in Europe, we are much more integrated. Yeah, they just use trucks and knives and other things to kill people with. Here they just go into schools and shoot them up. That's going to stop, by the way. They're going to have to, after this school shooting, I think there's going to be some serious revamping in the security in the schools. I saw in, was it New Mexico? New Mexico has ignored Joe Biden's gun-free school zone laws, and there are teachers that are packing firearms. They all have 45s. They are all trained to use them. And when you have a school that has teachers and staff that are trained well in the use of the firearm within the school and around children, I think they can be very effective, and I think the whole country needs to go to that style of school. It's nothing to have a teacher with a firearm, and as long as the kids are okay with, not that it matters. It doesn't matter if the kids are okay with it or not. As long as it is a way of life and the teachers are armed, the children should know that they are safer with an educated, armed, trained teacher rather than some poor defenseless broad or cuck, as you want to call them, at just okay, I'll shield my kids, and they end up dead, and then after they're dead, a bunch of kids get shot behind them. So yeah, I'd rather have armed staff rather than teachers, but not teaching staff, but actual janitors. Janitors or our grounds maintenance crews. They're generally more level-headed than the socialist-loving teachers that are out there. I'm sorry if you're a teacher and you're not a socialist-loving teacher, but these words don't apply to you. But for the most part, any teacher that I've ever met in my entire life has a socialist agenda, and for some reason, as dumb as it is, they think it will work. Now look at Venezuela. That didn't work. Didn't work there. It didn't work anywhere. It didn't work in Germany. It didn't work anywhere. It doesn't work. Eventually, Greece, eventually it will collapse everywhere. So, yeah. Boxcar is in Dayton, Ohio. Is it in Dayton, Ohio? Boy, I'd love to go see the Boxcar. Yeah. I really would. So if it's in Dayton, I guess eventually I'm going to find my way to Dayton, Ohio, because I would like to see that. Hey Wes, I'm watching your videos for several years now, and they're great. On 4010, you did a really nice engine rebuild. It runs very smooth and sounds so nice. Music to my ears. Well, it is music to my ears too. Now that I've run it in, seated the bearings and the bushings within the engine, I need to hook it up to something heavy and hard to pull and actually seat the rings, because they don't seat properly unless they're under a heavy load. I do have some oil consumption that is kind of normal, but it's going to have to stop. So I'm going to drain out the semi-synthetic that I've got in there, and I'm going to put in a 30 weight motor oil, and I'm going to run that for about 10 hours in there under heavy load, and that should seat the rings nice. So, and then I'll replace it with the semi-synthetic again, because I just love the semi-synthetic. They're sloppy pistons in there. I thought they could have been tighter, but yeah. Cannabis. I was on a technical school in '92. Just turned 12. Wait a minute. I was on a technical school in 1992. Just turned 12. My biology teacher handed out 5 seeds to all of us to grow plants at home. I managed to grow 2 of them on a rock wool bed and handed them in and got graded. I miss living in Holland some days. Well, cannabis, whatever, enjoy yourselves, I guess. I don't agree with it. I mean, for medicinal purposes, okay, go for it. But cancer, chronic pain, things like that, yes. But for recreational use, I'm sorry. Do it in your home. Grow it in your home. I don't think it should be illegal to grow it and do it in your home. What I don't like is the fact that you have to drive someplace, pay a government tax, and then go home to do it. You should be allowed to grow enough for your home. If you're selling it from your home, you got problems. This should be illegal. But for your own consumption, I don't have any problem with it. Just don't go out on the roads and hurt somebody. That's my whole thing. So, but anyways, this is the end of this. I'm only going to do a short one because, I just don't want to do it any longer than this. My bagel's getting cold. So, thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe for more.